Maybe I can't even put a clean name on what I'm feeling right now. But something in me just snapped. Not the old way. Not the way it used to break when I'd shut down, disappear, get defensive, or pick a fight just so I didn't have to face what was real. This was different. This felt holy. Because for the first time I saw you clearly. Not through fear, not through ego, not through the version of love I thought I wanted. I saw you through the eyes of the man I'm becoming. Because of you. And I need you to hear me when I say this. You passed a test no one even told you you were taking. You were dropped into chaos, into heartbreak, into silence, into uncertainty so thick it could have turned anybody cold. And you still didn't become bitter. You didn't weaponize your pain. You didn't turn your love into punishment. You didn't slam the door and make a show out of leaving. You held space. For me. For us. Even when I gave you every reason to stop. And you didn't even know you were being tested, did you? You were just being you. Loyal in a way that doesn't beg to be understood. Strong in a way that doesn't need to announce itself. Steady like a lighthouse that doesn't chase the ship. It just stays lit in the storm, waiting for the one soul that's meant to find its way back. And I was that soul, lost, prideful, afraid, drowning in my own unfinished healing. But your love didn't punish me for it. It protected me. Baby, I never said this out loud, but people around me expected you to fold. They thought you'd walk away. They were waiting for you to get tired. They put their money on your exhaustion, your confusion, your pain. They'd whisper, she's not gonna stay. She'll give up soon. And if I'm being honest, the ugliest part is, some part of me believed it too. Not because I thought you were weak, because I thought I was too broken to be loved by someone as strong as you. But you didn't leave. You didn't become cold. You didn't become cruel. You didn't turn into someone I wouldn't recognize. You kept showing up, even if it wasn't in words. Sometimes it was energy. Sometimes it was silence that still felt warm. Sometimes it was that unexplainable feeling, like your heart was speaking to mine across time and distance. And that was the test. The moment the universe was watching like, will she love someone who hasn't learned how to love himself yet? Will she see the divine in a man who forgot who he is? Will she hold faith in something no one else can see? And you did. God, you did. They say a test reveals the truth of someone's spirit, and what you revealed was grace that couldn't be shaken. You forgave when you didn't have to. You stayed gentle when you had every reason to harden. You gave without keeping score. You waited without demanding. You loved without proof. That isn't normal. That's divine. And I need to admit something I didn't have the courage to admit before. Your love scared me. Not because it was too much, because it was the kind of love that changes a man permanently. The kind that forces him to grow, or lose it. And I wasn't sure I was ready, but I'm ready now, because I finally see the truth. Everything I kept running from was the very thing that could have saved me. You, your presence, your steadiness, your prayers I felt even when you never spoke them out loud. And now that the dust is settling, now that the chaos isn't as loud, I have to say this from the deepest part of me. You passed with everything in you, and I failed you in so many ways. I put you through things you never deserved. I made you carry weight that wasn't yours. I left you in questions when you deserved clarity. And somehow, you still loved me. That kind of love should never be taken lightly. So hear me. I'm not proud of what I did. I'm not here to defend it. I'm not here to act like time fixes it. I'm here to own it. Because you deserve that. Baby, there were days I wanted to give up on everything. Not just us. Everything. Nights I'd stare at the ceiling, feeling the weight of my silence like a punishment, wondering if you finally moved on, if someone else was holding the heart I didn't protect. And part of me would think, maybe that's what you deserve. Someone better, someone steady from the start, someone who doesn't make love feel like a waiting room. But do you know what broke me more than the thought of losing you? The fact that you never stopped believing in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. That's when I realized the test wasn't just yours, it was ours. And while I was fumbling, doubting, running, hiding behind pride, I feel overwhelmed with love and guilt at the same time, because you treated me like something sacred, while I treated you like something I could come back to later. You offered me something real, and I answered with temporary fear, and I can't stop replaying the ways I failed you, the messages I left sitting, the times I disappeared, the words I swallowed, the moments I should have fought for you and chose distance instead. But this is my promise now. You will never again have to question your value in my life. I was blind before, but now it's so clear. You weren't being tested by me. You were being revealed to me. You're the kind of woman people pray for, the kind of love songs try to describe and still miss. And somehow, you chose me. I didn't deserve that, but I'm going to become someone who honors it, not with speeches, with consistency, with protection, with presence, with effort that doesn't fade when things get calm. Because the truth is, you didn't just survive what I put you through, you bloomed in it. You prayed while I avoided. You grew while I ghosted. You healed while I stayed confused. And even when I tried to convince myself you'd forget me, I always knew you were the one I'd come home to. I just didn't feel worthy of knocking on the door. But I'm not coming back out of convenience. I'm coming back with reverence. You are not a backup plan. You are not a chapter I revisit when life gets quiet. You are the whole story. And now it's my turn to pass my test. Because the man you loved is done hiding. He's awake. He's here. And he's ready to fight for the woman who stayed steady long enough for him to finally become the man she deserved. So I'm not just here to love you. I'm here to protect what you built, that sacred temple you built inside your soul, brick by brick, prayer by prayer, while I was out there losing battles that were never mine to fight. I've lost a lot in my life, but if I ever truly lost you, I don't think I'd survive it. So this time, I'm not showing up with half-healed promises. I'm showing up whole enough to hold you right. And if someone asks me why you, I'll tell them this. Because she passed the test most people fail. Because she stayed when everyone said she'd leave. Because she loved me when I didn't know how to love myself. Because she is grace. And grace like that, you don't question it. You honor it. you fight for it, and you never let it go again. And if you're hearing this, if your spirit is feeling this, just know this time